Oh, he's getting his air miles.
Harry
isn't he?
Wicker, isn't it? What's his name?
Wicker's
World.
Yeah.
Harry Wicker.
What's his name? Come on then, smart ass. What's his name? Wicker, weren't it?
It was Wicker. William Wicker. That sounds
No,
it doesn't.
We'll come back to
Doesn't
it.
sound right, but
No.
it's quite good. William Wicker.
Willy Wicker.
Willy Wicker. Willy Wicker and the Chocolate Factory.
So here it is. It's the podcast nobody asked for. 3 guys in a kitchen, drinking coffee and having a chat.
How's this week been? Because I haven't spoken too much because I've been away.
Yeah.
So how's it been generally?
What, for all of us?
Yeah.
How's my week been?
Yeah.
Go.
I think it's not been bad. I went for a massage, a normal one, not one of the ones that we did before.
Yeah.
No, went for a massage. And I'm going to go back to the gym. In fact, I'm going on Monday morning. Going to the gym on Monday morning at 6 o'clock. I don't know why.
Have you done any more about the boxing?
I messaged Bally, but he hasn't got back to me.
Okay.
But that's okay. That's fine. You know.
He probably thinks you ain't got potential to be a world champion.
No, but he has to be 55
Yeah.
as well.
But
But that's fine.
To wait.
Somebody else asked me about that as well, that they would like to have some time with the belly.
Boxing.
Yeah. So, what kind of massage is this then? I mean,
So this
why
is
that different?
it's a sports massage. So, and it's incredibly painful.
Yeah.
Incredibly
I've had
painful.
one. Did you have a whole body massage?
So he focuses on the areas that I need at that moment in time.
Oh, he did he?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What was his name?
Todd.
Todd Lundgren. Todd.
What?
No, just leave it at Todd Ash. Then it's
There's a musician called Todd something or other.
Was it a lot of people called Todd?
No, the only Todd I know.
Oh.
Todd Carty.
Todd Carty? Who's that?
Granger.
Oh yeah.
Bloody hell, that's going...
That's going way back. Right, where was I? Sports massage. Yeah, so I've had my sports massage. I'm going to the gym on
to the
Monday.
bits that you needed the most.
Yes, my upper back and my tricep.
Oh, yeah.
Tricep? And tricep?
Tennis elbow.
My elbow's knackered. Absolutely knackered. So yeah, I was chatting to him, and I said, you know, I want to start getting back into doing something, you know, to keep my focus a little bit better. So I'm going to the gym now on Monday. And for me, I think that's probably about it. I've been writing my book.
I've seen your cover.
Did you see my cover?
I saw your cover, yeah.
So it was a work in progress of all my 20 my 20 characters of the book.
Yeah.
You two both being there.
Yeah. Is your dad there? Is he
My
there?
dad is there,
Is
but
he?
I need to rework my dad's
Okay.
photograph.
Okay. I think
it's
your
not-
mum was there. I saw your mum.
My mum's there.
She's on the top row.
Yeah. Yeah. Isabel's on there.
Yeah, saw that.
Girl from Japan's on there.
Okay. Is there a
Oh,
song associated?
Well, you probably didn't read what I sent you, did I? Because I sent it to you on WhatsApp, so you wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
understand.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's no other reason.
No, because you couldn't listen to it, you wouldn't have been able to.
No, not that. It's just easier to read. I just find it easier to read on
I will send you because you read the
PDF.
Japan a little bit on Japan.
At the airport.
Yeah. It wasn't like that, by the way. I know you said like attracting the ladies.
Let's move on from it.
Yeah.
We'll come on to that another day.
Okay, read the book.
Let's just concentrate on how this week's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So that's pretty much been it for me. Yeah, massage, work, writing the book.
Busy at work?
Probably a little too busy,
Okay.
if I'm
He's
honest.
had my son working with him.
Oh, I have. I was
And
going to
he
get
gave-
onto that.
And he did give a very, very good appraisal.
Did he? Who to?
Me,
When?
last Sunday.
Oh, you were okay. You were out. You were
Yes.
out and about.
Yeah, we went for a walk.
Okay.
My dad joined us.
Okay.
Your dad actually didn't join us for the walk.
No, he didn't join us for the walk. He went in a different direction.
He joined
Don't blame him.
He joined us for refreshments.
Yes.
Oh, did he? Well, they don't sell alcohol in that.
No, didn't he try
No,
for
I've
alcohol
got
for
a place
refreshments?
We had coffee and I had poached eggs on toast.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, the only way to have them.
It was nice.
Did you enjoy that?
That was a lovely listen.
Describe what that was.
That was a medley of fruit.
Medley. Like it.
It was a medley of fruit,
And-
nuts and seeds.
Huh?
And it had a bit of a date in there as well.
I always like a good.
And a bit of peanut.
Okay.
A bit of peanut butter.
Yes.
And peanuts on their own.
Yes. What was the base?
Yogurt.
Correct.
What
And
type of yogurt? That's very thick yogurt.
It's
Greek.
It's proper Greek yogurt.
Proper
none of
Greek
this.
yogurt.
None of this low fat stuff.
Yeah.
Forget all that.
You got to have it full
No.
fat.
Full
Yeah.
fat. Layer of granola.
Yeah. So
Best granola you can get really, with bit chocolates.
Can I ask a question about granola? What is it?
Is that South America? Isn't it in South America?
Question about granola.
grown. Well, interesting enough, I had my first experience of a drug while I was away.
Don't.
You-
What?
Really?
What?
Was it paracetamol?
No,
What did you do?
being serious.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Went to a marijuana shop.
Oh, well then. So what sniff it? Did you have a look? Did you
Did you actually?
Did you engage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you partake?
Well, I'll just set the scene, right? So we're in. It's
Can you remember
Tuesday.
it?
It's Tuesday.
Do you want me to turn this on?
No, they can. No, I want you to put it on the post.
Okay.
Okay. In
So-
post.
So
The post.
we fly out Wednesday,
Mm.
right? Get there about 1:00, 2:00. Jump the bags. Then we go up to our favourite tapas bar, and I introduce Andy to the tapas bar. And we have some nice rioja, and we have some nice gambas and all that type of stuff. Then after that, he said, because it's his first experience, he said, I would really like a Bass cheesecake. I know just the place. So as I'm walking to this Bass cheesecake,
But I mean, Malaga's so far from Basque
Yeah.
country.
I was going to
go
say
ahead.
that.
but anyway, that's what they or Malaga cheesecake. Let's not
No, you're right. It is a Basque cheesecake,
Yeah.
but it's just in Malaga, not in the Basque country.
let's not split hairs on this, okay?
Difficult.
That's what they said.
difficult.
Difficult for me because I got them. So keep it.
I mean, splitting hairs.
I was splitting it. Yeah.
Oh, look
look
at
at
that.
little blue tick.
Oh, we
What
can't
did it
even
co-
include that
He
on the...
wanted to come in.
Oh, we can't
He's
even
there,
include that on the podcast. That's
He
amazing.
wanted to come in.
That's incredible.
Well,
Anyway,
Sorry.
I don't.
so
My back was to it anyway.
yeah.
I'd
Well,
have had to get
if you'd
excited.
have sat in your normal spot, you'd have seen it.
Well, I wouldn't have got that excited. Not like you did.
Oh, it was beautiful. Well, I saw it first.
Nature-
That was,
nature's
I think you did. That was...
Beautiful.
Your nature's just what?
It's just there.
No, it's not. You've got to enjoy nature.
Huh?
Embrace it.
It's just there. It's just...
It's all
It's,
like
it's hovering in the background.
Oh, we're going to have to pick him up.
Oh, Jesus.
So anyway, I wish I had some GBD on me. Anyway,
GBD. It's CBD.
CBD. That was,
GBD is something else.
That's a hairspray.
yeah. Is that an hairspray? I didn't have any hairspray, let me tell you. So, as we're walking to the cheese shop, because obviously I've been to Malaga before, I knew of this shop.
This.
And it's legal, from what I understand, right?
It is to some degree.
Yeah, so hold that thought, and Ash's face explains it perfectly what happened.
Not very,
So we-
good, not very good for a podcast. But
No, but we walk in as he raises his eyes and goes a little bit, well, in theory. So we walk in, and on the shelves, all these different lollipops and space cakes and chocolate cake and all that stuff. So I pick up 2 chocolate cakes, right? €4 each.
Right.
Go to the bar, the counter, and the woman says, have you? I said, no. I said, we're just doing it for a bit of a giggle. We've never had it before.
no, it's definitely have a giggle.
So she says,
sorry.
these aren't really that strong.
Yeah.
They just like make you a little bit relaxed type of stuff. The proper stuff is under the counter. These are gummy bears kind of stuff, right? So I said, well, Andy said, we'd better have a pack of them then. So I put the chocolate brownies back and we got a pack of these gummy bears
Right.
at €40
Okay.
a
Okay.
pack, right? And we went, whoa, as if to say, we're looking to spend €4 on a space cake, and now we're spending €40 on 10 gummy bears.
Yeah.
Right? They're like discs shaped. They're not like a bear. They're not
And
like
you're only there for 24 hours. For God's sake.
I was there for 72 hours.
Okay.
Right. But anyway, let's not again go into that. It's not really relevant to the story.
Splitting hair.
So we're chatting to the woman, and the woman says, have you had any of this? I said, no, we've never done any of this before. She said, well, you need to be very careful because these are...
So hold on. So the cake wasn't strong enough.
She said it wouldn't really.
So then she's advised you to buy these gummy bears, and now they're going to be too strong. Is there no in between?
No. What she actually said was, these are strong, the gummy bears.
Yeah.
I suggest you have half.
Okay.
Half a gummy,
Yeah,
Right.
that's 20 doses
right?
Right.
for €40.
Yeah. So they're like that, and they're like a jelly. Right. That's how I can describe them. They're probably the size of a 50p piece.
Okay.
And just jelly. Okay.
But in the shape of a bear.
No, in the shape of a disc. I don't know why they call them.
Well, you said gummy. You didn't
Gummy
say
bears.
gummy bear.
I think
You just
that's-
said gummy.
Yeah, well, I think gummies. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think they do call them gummy bears away. But these weren't. These were like a 50p piece.
Okay.
All right. So we hand over the €40. We walk out the shop. We then go to the cheesecake. Andy has his cheesecake. We then walk back to the apartment. And as we're walking back, Andy says, it'd be quite nice to walk to the beach, have a walk along the promenade and show me that. I said, yeah, okay, we'll do that. At that point, I said, well, let's have a go in these gummy bears then, or these CBD or GBD, whatever it's called. Let's have a go. He said, we'll only have half because she said it was really strong. I said, I don't do things by half. Give me a whole one. So I took a whole one, right?
Hey.
And Andy had half, right?
Hey.
But I'd say probably 40 minutes later, it was like a Zen moment. I came over really chilled, really giggly.
Nice.
And Andy went, do you think they're working? I went, no.
People always say that, don't they, the first time?
So, do you,
Didn't have any
so do you know what I
effect on me.
did?
Not
I
even
said,
working.
you better give me another one.
Oh, no.
So I took another one. So I had 2 of these full discs, right? And Andy went, it's probably because of the size of you. You probably
Yeah,
need 2
yeah.
to get it working.
It walks
Maybe.
down to your knees
My word, I
Yeah.
tell you what.
after the second one.
It's really, I mean, people, bumping into you. Or I was bumping
I was
into
going to
them.
say it was probably more, yeah.
But I can see the attraction. But my God, my head got about 9 o'clock and my head was feeling really fuzzy and light and good night's sleep.
Did you get the munchies?
I had a Twix about 12 o'clock at night.
Oh,
I mean, that's not really munching.
no.
What would you say a munch?
Bowl of cereal. Bowl of cereal.
Well, you'd be very hungry.
Sandwich and
You'd
stuff like that.
want something more than just a Twix.
A paella.
It's usually sweet stuff.
Yeah. I was
Was it?
yeah, it was always a bowl of Rice Krispies for me when I was.
But it was honestly, yeah, it was interesting.
That's good.
Interesting.
And how were you the next day? Fine.
Yeah, I couldn't have. I was going to do it again, but
So
obviously,
what did you do with the rest? What did you do with the rest of them?
well, so went into the Thursday afternoon. We get back and from being out in the morning, going to the market and so on and so forth. And I go into the living room and Andy's there on his phone. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm booking the apartment again." Wait, what? He said, "I've had such a lovely time. I'm bringing Sonia here."
No, that's nice.
So they're booked up to go on the 3rd of June.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted the same apartment.
They're going within a month.
He's going in 3 weeks' time.
Right.
Yeah, but it's easy. I mean, from Birmingham Airport to
I know.
Then he's
I
It's
know.
dead straight east.
Dead
Straight
easy.
there.
Yeah.
But she's just lost her mum. Her mum was 92, 93, so she had a really good innings, but obviously she's dealing with that and the grief and the house and stuff. So it'd be good for her to go away. But it will give her everything that Andy thinks she'll need because it's got the beach, it's got the shops, it's got the food, it's got everything. And he's 20 minutes from the airport.
Yeah.
And literally, you come out the airport, there's a taxi rank, go in the taxi rank, €20, you're in. You're in the centre of Malaga, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's booking that. So he said to him, "What are we going to do with these gummy bears then?" He said, "Well, I've asked for this apartment back, so let's just stash them somewhere."
Like it. I like it.
Right,
Yeah.
so when we come back in June,
They'll be there.
they'll be there.
And
So we've stashed them,
you've stashed them.
right?
Okay.
He's just phoned me this morning, and Booking.com have just come back to him. Unfortunately, that room's booked.
Oh,
Stashed them
no.
in the room.
Stashed them in the room. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thinking that he'd be able to
So he's
book
thinking
the
that-
same.
Nobody's ever going to find where we stashed them.
Well, I
If
mean,
they do, it's going to be a great surprise for them.
yeah.
it's going to be a happy holiday.
Yeah.
I mean, he could knock and just say, he could pretend to be
I
a,
left something.
no, he could put on a Spanish accent and pretend to be a
Yeah.
caretaker or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think what we've
Take a
planned
broom with you.
what we've planned
Yeah.
to do is we're going back in December anyway. Because we had such a nice time at Christmas.
Yeah.
We're going back again. And if they'll be there. Nobody will find these.
Okay, you're certain of
Stashed
that.
them really good.
Okay.
Right. So I'll just show you what we bought. Right. Because I took a picture of it because I'm going to see if I can buy them on the internet.
Okay.
Right. They're actually called
Zen CBD
Plus.
plus
Yeah. Plus or plus.
fast acting. What does it say? Full spectrum, as opposed to what?
I don't know.
Half spectrum.
I'm a
What
novice.
was- Well, I mean,
I'll pass it on to our expert who's in the room.
drugs.
Well, you say
Connoisseur.
that, but I mean, this is...
Well, you are more expert
this
than
is
me.
all kind of legal
Yeah.
stuff that, that it's acceptable in the way that you
Could I have brought
consume
that
it.
back home on the plane then?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, it says it's legal.
In Spain.
Oh, I see. But it's my own consumption. I'm not selling it.
Well, I'll leave you to talk to the...
Immigration people.
Yeah, they might have a different view.
But I don't look a person they would stop. I was very smartly dressed.
Okay.
Okay.
But if that was the only way
Oh.
that you needed to get across,
So
Borders.
let me just read it. It
just smartly
says,
dressed,
hemp
don't matter
deri-
what you're carrying in your suitcase.
Yeah.
it said, well, you would know.
He's got a point. He's got a point.
Stitching your granddad.
Yeah.
Hemp-derived supplement, THC level 0.2% by weight, fruit punch flavour, 10 milligrams THC plus,
Mm-hmm.
10 milligrams CBD per gummy.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
See, I've
So-
never eaten it. I've only ever smoked it. I've never eaten it.
Well, if you go to Malaga,
I've
I will
gonna-
tell you where to go to
The
there.
thing,
Okay.
the thing about consuming it by eating it is, one, you don't know the strength of it,
Mm.
right? Because those people said that you've got the cakes, they're not very strong.
Yeah.
You don't know,
No.
right? You can't tell. This might be a little bit more manageable than what you've just described on the packet.
Yeah.
Tells you how much THC there is and stuff. You might be able to gauge the
What is
strength of it.
THC?
It's the thing that gives you the high.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Tetrahydrocannabinol.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Whereas, you can have CBD, for medical purposes that doesn't have the THC in it,
Oh, okay.
right? That's, that's...
So, in your professional opinion, that looks good stuff, then, yeah.
I
good
couldn't
stuff.
tell you. So I was going to say to you that, problem with buying consumables like cakes is that you never know how much is in there.
Yeah.
And it could be quite low and it'd be fine. So you'll have multiples and get you where you want to, or it's got a lot in it and you take it and that's what happens sometimes, that you consume a bar of cake or a brownie or whatever it might be, don't know how much is in it, you've got no control,
Yeah.
right? Whereas smoking it, you have some
You
amount
smoke
of control.
it, you feel a high,
Yeah,
you stop smoking. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I mean, in all the years that I smoked, I never ever, and still never have eaten it.
well,
Never.
it's a good, in a way, if you're not into smoking like, Stu isn't, it's probably a better way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite a nice way of doing it.
Well, the actual ones here, £12.71
Online.
online, yeah.
Mm.
That's cheap. Yeah.
Mixed berry.
Mick Berry,
Mick Berry.
He's a good actor.
he was.
Mm.
Michael.
I'm not sure if this has got THC. Is it THC is the thing you need?
Well, it will have, won't it?
So when you say somebody's had a good innings,
Hmm.
Somebody was 92.
Oh, you're about Sonia's mum, yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but you've said
Yeah.
that. When you say somebody's had a good innings,
Yeah.
which bit of that is associated with the cricket analogy? Is it
The age.
the age? So there's amount of runs
No.
that
Well, you
they've
could put
made.
runs as
So
in
92
age.
runs. 92
But if you get
runs.
100, that's a century.
Well, 92 runs isn't bad, is it?
It's great.
That's it. It's close to a century. Or is it the length of time that you've actually been at the crease?
That's a good analogy.
Do you see?
Interesting.
Do you
cricket.
see?
Yeah. So I would say when I use the description of good innings,
Yes.
mean the person's had a good life. They've been relatively healthy until their later period of life.
Yeah.
So up until probably 3 years ago, her health was good.
Yeah.
And then it starts to wane, which
Yeah.
at that age, you expect to have
Yeah.
ailments.
Yeah, of course you do.
At our age,
Yeah.
Ash and myself, not you, young Andy.
Yeah.
Not so young, but
We have ailments, you know. Hence the reason why I thought I'd try that CBD plus
Yes.
to see if it would help.
with your ailments.
What ailment?
Well, sometimes I have a bit of pain in my shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
So I go for a sports massage.
yeah.
He goes to Malaga and buys wheat.
I just have a gummy.
Yeah, it's a different approach.
So what was your week like?
Great.
Well, he was out of his face.
I was on my face. Great food. Had a really interesting paella.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't saffron in colour, so it wasn't yellowy orange in colour. It wasn't ink like octopus ink,
black.
but it was in between. It was like a browny grey colour
Pepper and salt.
with a little bit of heat.
Uh-huh.
It was really, really nice.
Okay. Was that just the rice? Did it have any other content?
It was seafood, so
Seafood.
we had mussels and octopus and
Right.
squid and stuff like that. But I mean, when I go away, even if I go away with Lisa, the family, or friends,
Yeah.
it's all around food.
Mm.
It's not about eating a humongous amount of food.
No,
It's
just-
not about eating good food.
Yeah.
So on the Thursday night, yeah, we saw that picture.
Yeah, you
Oh,
said
That's
that.
what we had.
Yeah.
That colour.
This colour.
That colour.
Yeah.
which is
That's
saffron.
not paella.
What is that then?
That's fidua. What's the
What's fidua?
So it's, instead of rice, it's vermicelli.
Oh no, ours was definitely paella.
Yeah, yeah.
but it was
try,
that colour.
Try that.
Was it nice? Was it?
Oh,
Was it?
yeah. I mean, it's a different texture to the rice.
Oh,
Can
was
you
it?
make that?
Yeah.
Well, good. Could you make that?
Yeah. Would you,
I'll come in.
would you like me to?
Yes.
All right.
Put in
So-
a request.
So what was it? What was you talking about?
Your paella, the colour of your paella,
Yeah,
and going away, and it's all about food.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the Thursday night, I ring an ex-manager of mine
Mm.
who lives in Malaga.
Oh, okay.
Lives about 20 minutes drive from Malaga.
Okay.
Ash knows. So we met up with him, and we took him to the tapas bar that I found that he'd never been to.
Mm.
And the tapas bar opens at 8:00. It's open in lunchtime, and then it shuts for a siesta, and then it opens again. We got there at 7:45. There was 20 people waiting to get in to this. This tapas bar is no wider than 20 foot.
Okay.
No longer than 30 foot. And in that, there's a bar. So it's tiny.
Yeah.
And people stand on the pavement eating the tapas, and it's really, really authentic. And I wanted Raf, my mate, my ex-boss, to come and experience it. And he couldn't believe that he hadn't been to this little tapas bar. And at the front, there's all the seafood, and you order your prawns and your snails and all that type of, they cook it all and bring it out to the back. So I said to Raf, would you mind ordering what you'd eat? What you would like? Was it croquettes or gambas or whatever you wanted? So he ordered ox cheeks, meatballs, brabas. We just had the most amazing, amazing food. And then we had tinto, de verano and all that. Just being Spanish,
Yeah.
you know. And then we didn't have rioja. He said ibera, another form of the Spanish drink, this other red wine. So we had that. But it's just totally different when you're with somebody that lives there, is immersed in it, speaks it, and just orders all these different things. So at one point I went, what's that couple eating there, Raf? And he went, don't know. Oh. So the woman who owns it with her husband, he speaks to her. He said, oh, it's a sandwich. And all it was,
Montanito.
yeah, is that what they say, Monty? It really was a really small hamburger.
Okay.
But
Quite tiny.
But-
Just small.
I mean, literally, it's like what you have in a children's kitchen. You know, when
Yeah,
they make
yeah,
a burger
yeah,
for you
yeah.
when you're the dad, and
Yeah.
it's no bigger than that.
All right. Okay.
It's tiny, but the whole experience of him ordering all these different foods, and I mean, I had this thing that was, it was like a, how can I describe it? I've got the name of it. When you go to an Indian, you have the starter and you have the dips, the crispy
Poppadoms.
poppadoms. It's like that, but it's aerated. So it's like lattice. It's like it's been,
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
it's-
Yes.
yeah. but in it is all these little tiny prawns,
Okay.
and it comes like rough shape. It's not perfect. It's not circle. It's just like, you imagine a lot of mixture,
Mm.
like a pancake mixture,
Mm.
and then they just fry it, and this thing comes out.
It's tortillitas de gambas.
It's how it is. So we had that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's very crispy. It's very thin,
Very
very
thin.
crispy, and it's not prawns. It's
shrimp or something.
shrimps.
Yeah,
Very,
Yeah.
very. I've tried to make it here. Can't do it.
yeah.
I can't do it because you have to deep fry them, and I
Yeah.
don't like deep frying.
And I'm going to say, it wasn't my favourite
I love them.
part of the night.
Yeah.
But I can see why you'd have them as like a crisp. You'd have one of these with a beer,
Yeah.
right?
Is it like a sort of like a, because it sounds a bit like a tempura sort of.
It is that kind of. It is that
Like a
kind of
tempura
batter.
prawn.
This is then.
That's it. That's what we had like that. That's it.
In fact, yeah. So
And you got little herbs in as well. They might put a little bit of parsley or something like that in it.
it's lovely. They're really nice. But
How do you say it?
tortillitas de camarones. Tortillitas de camarones. Tortillitas.
So it's, so that this week was all about food. And if I went away with Ash to Spain, I know that's what we would do.
Yeah.
But people say, oh, no, because to me, that's what I go away for.
Mm.
Yeah.
I go there to sit in this little tapas bar, people watch.
But Spain is particular, and other southern Mediterranean countries are like that, which is that they're just sociable.
Yeah.
It's just about people
Yeah.
and,
Conversing
conversation,
and
eating,
Yeah.
drinking, but not in a kind of bingy kind of way.
No.
It's just,
we were there for 4.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I've mentioned it on the podcast, but I think we've spoken about it when I went to Barcelona. I met a guy when I was in Japan, lived in a little town just outside of Barcelona. The day I arrived there, we went into the kitchen. He was just like, right, do you want a drink? And get you a beer. So we're having a beer, we're having a chat, and he lived with his girlfriend and two of his mates and one of their girlfriends. Some of them were at work, so it was just the three of us at first, and then he put some food on, and then it was, do you want a coffee? Yeah, I'll have a coffee. Then somebody came home and they're making a bit of food, and there's more food on and we were in the kitchen for like 12 hours, and it was just like beer, food, coffee, more food, another beer, another coffee, glass of wine, another coffee, food, and it's just, that's all we did. It's just a totally different way of, whereas we wouldn't do that, would we? We would sort of have our day and then go out in the evening and
I think it's the way you describe food. I don't see it as food. It's not a meal.
No, it's not, is it?
It's a snack accompanied with alcohol or whatever you want to drink.
Yeah.
And, we were there for like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
But we didn't eat solidly for 4 hours.
No.
4.5 hours.
It's
We
just,
had a little snack, then we had a break. Then, the interesting thing is, Andy, and both Andy and Raph had never been to this place before. Raph used to be, but Andy wasn't. He said to me, how do you remember what you had?
What, you mean for the bill?
At the end of 4.5 hours.
How can you remember what it was?
How do they know what we've had?
Oh, okay.
And I said, they just keep tapping the till. They know where you're sitting. They just tap the till.
yeah.
But we were there for 3 hours. It cost us €90.
Yeah. It's nothing, is it? That's
I mean,
nothing.
we didn't have fillet steak. We didn't have all this Ponzi stuff. It was just traditional Spanish food, conversing, talking. People would, there's some Spanish ladies talk, and that's what drink I was drinking. And I said, scusi inglese. And Raph told them what it was. People want to know what you're eating and drinking. Where over here, I don't know if it's just
it's too formal.
I think we're just a little bit too regimented. And restricted and, too insular. Where over there, people don't give a monkeys what you look like, what you dress like. They just...
Thank God for that.
Yeah, well, I did have some strange looks. But, it's just, you just come back, you just think...
Yeah, but okay, so you come back.
Yeah.
Why can't you do it differently? So what do you have, breakfast, lunch, dinner? Is that your... Wake up, have breakfast?
No.
You don't have breakfast?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why
mean?
Can't you do it differently? What do you mean? Here?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's set up like it.
Why would you? It's not the same, is it? It's just not the same.
No.
I mean, for a start off, where you were in Malaga, and that's the same for a lot of places in Spain, and I noticed this in Valencia without a doubt. I mean, it's just so busy with people. I know there's a lot of tourists and stuff around, right? But I mean, just in the street that we were in, there are at least 3 cafes, right?
The culture's different. You're right.
No.
The culture's different.
No, it is the culture.
Yeah.
It is the culture,
Yeah.
but it's also the way that they're set up. So when you look at in the middle of Valencia and the same in Malaga, you've got all the retail places on the ground floor, but there are apartments above.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so the reason that there's all this hospitality stuff around is to cater for the residents.
People
Yeah.
live
The
in
people who
people
live
live amongst
there.
it. Yeah.
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 And so they, so that's how they can sustain themselves.
Whereas in this
By
country,
doing-
we
but
don't
it
live in the
also-
city, do we? We
don't.
don't live in the city.
Well, also, we haven't got
No.
the weather. You know, Malaga gets 320. Sorry.
Well, no, go on, say that. But I'm going to say that it's not. It's
okay.
not just. It's,
No, I agree.
It isn't all about the weather.
The reason I'm expanding on that is they get 320 days a year sunshine on average.
But do you not get that in Amsterdam, for instance?
No, you don't.
Or Berlin?
No, you don't.
You do.
You don't get that amount of heat.
No,
you
it's
don't
not.
get that
No,
weather.
sorry, I don't mean the heat. I meant that kind of vibe because you've still got apartments.
Yes.
You've still got residents.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah.
all that. Kind
Yeah, I
of,
don't think the weather. I don't think the weather changes it. I've been to Prague in February. I've been to Budapest in February, and they're the same.
So
You know,
do you
it's
think
all.
it's the way that they are structured, as in,
Yeah.
you know, 6 or 7 story buildings, and then below
People-
them is the
Yeah.
cafeteria.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
interesting.
in a funny kind of way, is that the difference between us and people like that? In that we have this kind of focus and concentration on property
Yeah.
and owning your own
I
house. And,
totally agree.
you know, and I know that there's an aspect of the weather in that you need more comfort and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But they seem less concerned about the living accommodation. It doesn't have to be very big.
Yeah.
It needs to be central or, you know, located where there's lots
It's got
of
to be
kind of,
functional, hasn't it?
you know, stuff around you, infrastructure around you and all the rest of it. But what the impact of that is that it's a lot more sociable.
Yeah, because we
You've got-
compartmentalise our commercial, industrial, residential
Correct.
areas, whereas other countries don't seem to do that. They don't sort of seem to be too.
But we've got retail parks out in the city.
Yeah,
I mean, who stupidly thought of that?
Yeah.
You're
But
killing.
I think that's an American idea, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but we're killing. We kill what the heart of the city.
Yeah.
You know, I said this to Raf.
What did you say to Ralph?
I said the amount of people eating out.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Yeah, I went to." He came back to the UK a couple of weeks ago, and he says eating out's so expensive.
It is.
Yeah.
He said we were going out, grabbing a coffee in a coffee bar and having some pastry. Coffee was €2. A pastry was like £2.50.
Yeah.
So €4.50 for an espresso or a cappuccino with panna raison or whatever you wanted. €4.50.
Yeah.
It's €4.50 for a coffee. Yeah.
And that's the thing.
I went out last night to a normal pub.
Yes.
Just a normal, not even, wasn't city centre pub, but
Yeah.
£5.45 for a pint of lager.
Yeah. Well,
That's a lot.
We were paying
I don't know. I've never paid for one yet.
we were paying €4 for a rioja.
Yeah.
They don't pour it in a measure.
No, it's just, there you go.
Just put it in the glass.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you probably educated me this morning, both of you, on the way
Thank you.
on the way you've described the rationale behind it. Because when it's cheap and good, why would you want to cook? Right? And when it's pleasurable being outside, why do you want to be indoors?
Yeah.
So get out.
And it's the same with the families. I mean, if you think about kids,
Yeah.
kids are part of everybody's lives.
They're not excluded, are
They're
they?
not excluded. They're out in the streets till 12 o'clock at night, kids playing and all that kind of stuff. It's just a different, and yes, the weather has got something to do with it, but actually it's just generally the kind of love of life, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we just tend to be lot more kind of in ourselves and a bit more rigid and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And by the way, also we're very densely populated compared to a lot of countries.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Spain compares Spain to England. It's, 3 times the size of England?
Yeah. I don't know why I said that. Why did I say that?
No, because they're less populated, aren't they, in Spain? So there's more space to stretch out. Where over here, all we want to do is build, and build.
Yeah, but
What we were seeing in Spain was not build, and build, was repair.
I mean,
So
they never
the-
seem
all
to
the-
finish a building.
All
in
the
Spain.
facades of some of these buildings, you could see had like really clever what they did. They put like from roof to floor, and this building was probably eight floors high, and they ran a mural
Right.
of a building down the three sides of the building. So
Yeah.
it looked like a building from afar.
Yeah.
But when you got up to it,
It wasn't.
It was canvas.
Yeah.
Because they're doing the work behind the mural.
Yeah. That's
Right.
clever.
To keep it so it doesn't bring the area down because there's all scaffolding and all that.
Yeah.
Right. But it was just so clean. You didn't see any new things being built. You just saw old things being repaired.
Yeah. Well, because it's limited, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't build new things because that'd be out of keeping with everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was good. So you had a good week.
Lovely. It makes you want to think about what you're going to do when you can eventually put your feet up.
Yeah.
And I will be doing more and more of that type of holiday. Because if you do it right out of peak season, it's far cheaper to do that than live here.
I couldn't believe it when so we went and spoke on Sunday about how much. So I was going this month, and I probably still will, to be fair, to the Peak District, to the same place that I booked Bowie to in November.
Yep.
And I went online and had a look, and it was £147 a night. So that would have worked out at £294 for 2 nights. And how much was your trip to Malaga?
Well, it was £150 a night.
Yeah.
But
that was for two of
us.
Yeah.
£75 a night.
Yeah. So basically the same price.
In a 2-bedroom apartment, and the apartment was probably twice as big as the
Was it
room we're in.
Airbnb?
No.
Booking.com.
Booking.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, which kind of sometimes doubles up as Airbnb.
It could be, yeah.
And I went on that Sunday when we got home.
Yeah, showed you.
And I went on to Jet2, and I just thought, right, how much can I go?
£100 the flight cost me.
There was if you were prepared on Sunday to book a flight for Monday, bearing in mind that was Bank Holiday Monday, you could get a return to Ibiza for £64.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
If you are prepared to go sort of just, I'm just going.
Category put hand on heart, I would have no qualms because I've been there now, go to Malaga on my own.
Yeah.
No, people are friendly. We sat in the bar and this guy was talking to us and stuff like that. There's no chance you would not talk to anybody.
That's interesting that you said that. Would you generally not go to places on your own then?
No, I would go to a place on my own. But if you go to somewhere you don't know, you're always a little bit apprehensive. What is it you're going to experience? Somebody said to me, so I want to go away for a couple of days. I want a little bit of this. I'd say go to Malaga.
Yeah.
Personally, because it ticks all the boxes. Beach, shopping, restaurants. Dead easy to get there.
CBD.
Yeah, CBD plus. Don't forget the plus.
Plus.
But yeah, so that's, I think certainly what I'm now thinking more of is that once we get to the situation where we're not working, you can go away easily. Out of season.
Yeah.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And why do I want to stay in this country?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when you told me how much that was. I was like...
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you can go on a Tuesday or a Wednesday and come back on a Tuesday or Wednesday, midweek, out of season, the world's your oyster. There's so much choice of accommodation. I could have stayed in a hostel for £25 a night.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I wouldn't bother about that.
Yeah.
Right? So £100 for the flight. I could have stayed there for 3 weeks. It's still £100 a flight. Cause I've already
The flight's the same, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
£25
So I think that's what's happening with the kind of tourism aspects of life. I mean, you've got, when you go to all of these places out of season, you can get your accommodation much cheaper, because it's more easily available, and you generally have people who are kind of in elderly or not elderly, but kind of beyond 60,
independence,
because they can now have the time. They've got the time to go out of season.
Yeah,
it's and they can stay for long periods. They don't have to go.
Well,
for
and also
couple of weeks.
Malaga's all year round now, so they're flying there all year round.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Like, I mean, even if it isn't, a lot of Spain has a lot of accommodation to offer during out of season, out of peak season.
Well, interesting enough, when we go in July, Raf said go to Cordoba. He said it's really nice,
Beautiful, yeah,
really nice, and he says it's 30 minutes on the train.
yeah. And you've got Toledo as well.
Yeah.
Toledo.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to do
And
that.
it's all quite close to Madrid as well.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we're going to do it. Get on the train. I just want to try
Granada. You want to go Granada too?
Oh, okay.
Granada's beautiful.
I want to just sample Spanish transport, public transport, because it can't be any worse than English transport. So, so all these things, you just think, I want to go away. What do you want? I don't want to have any stress.
Yeah.
I want to just relax. I want to just eat good food. That's what I had.
Nice.
That's right. So when you say you're going to the Dales, you're going to Dales on your own, or are you going with somebody?
On my own, just like I did before.
So you just want to go walking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get on a plane, get to Malaga, and do your walking on the
Yeah, I mean, and I think, the price is.
You're going to have the weather, you're going to have the food.
Yeah.
Just going to, it's just, yeah. Because the one thing you can't guarantee here is the weather.
That's true. Although, to be fair, weather doesn't bother me that much.
No, I know you're the same as me, but it's going to be 20 degrees, 21, 22.
Yeah, it's still
20s. One thing we had this time, we were walking, it wasn't high enough to make you sweat. It was warm.
Yeah.
Nice warm, breeze and stuff like that, but not too hot that it was oppressive.
Yeah.
But
I quite like, weirdly enough, in this country anyway, I quite like when the weather's not good. So when I went to the peaks in November and I arrived and it was snow and then we had Storm Bert, there was no one around. I know, Storm Bert. There was no one around. And that makes it better for me because I don't like, I love the Cotswolds, but if you ever go to the Cotswolds on a sunny day, you're queuing for 45 minutes just to get through Bourton on the Water. I hate it.
Alan Wicker.
What?
Yeah. Well, and with that, let's bring this one to a close.
So here it is. It's the podcast nobody asked for. 3 guys in a kitchen, drinking coffee and